So we're going to work on the commercial 12 today. I tried to start it last weekend. I wanted to put my 34-inch blower on it, but it had no spark. And, well, I didn't know it had no spark, but I cranked it and cranked it, nothing. So I figured it had no spark. So I decided that I'd buy some brand new OEM points. So I'm sick of these old points. I think you clean them up with sandpaper. It takes whatever coatings on there off of them, and when they sit around in a moist environment, they're prone to rusting quicker than they should be. So let's throw some new points in and see what we can do with that. Ooh. We got a John Deere pulling a Gravely. That's not a good sign. Yep. Brand new points here. Genuine Kohler, crafted in Mexico. And watch out, they could cause cancer and reproductive harm if you live in California, I guess. So they must be good stuff, you know. So anyways, these are them, and we're gonna throw them in. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? So let's pop it open and throw them in. Take a look at these points, man. You can see that there's a lot of rust on it, not only on the points, but on the body of the points, like up here under my finger. And the points themselves are pretty burnt up and crappy looking. I have no idea if they've ever been replaced or not. I have a feeling that I replaced them once because it says made in Mexico on here. And I've had this machine since roughly the year 2000 or 2001 or something like that. So I've probably replaced them once. But what we're going to do is we're not only going to put the new points in. I had to go to my parts stash here, and the gasket that seals the points was pretty bad. So I'm thinking if we can replace the gasket with a new one here. I've had this in the toolbox for a while, so maybe that will help keep the moisture out. And also the little plug that goes on the wire is pretty good still. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take some brake cleaner. I'm going to spray down all around where the points go, what would be under the cover, clean it up with a rag and make it nice looking and clean and dry. And then we'll reinstall these and see if it will start. All right, so I got this mounting area all cleaned up. And you can take a look at the old gasket here. It's totally shot. And actually the piece that goes over the points hole is pretty shot too. So I have a new one of these that we'll put on there as well. And hopefully that will seal the moisture out of this thing and keep it dry. The new grommet that will go onto the points box. So let's put that in. Wire. Now we gotta hook up the wire to the points and we'll gap them. And then we'll put the cover on and see if we got spark. In there with the new gaskets and everything. I cranked down the screws nice and tight to try to get a really good seal around those points. Usually I like to start it before I put the points cover on, but I'm just going to be confident in it today and hope it works. I had drained the carb last time I ran it, so I turned the fuel valve off and just let it run until it was dry. So I just opened up the fuel valve here, and the choke cable's all rusty on it. So choke's actually on. I'm going to blow in the gas tank here. We don't have much fuel in there at all. And let me turn my battery pack on. I got the spark tester in there. And I don't know, let's see if we got spark. Of course not. No spark. That's awesome. Alright, let's check out a couple things with the voltmeter and we'll be back. I was just checking with the voltmeter and it fired. Take the choke off. Cable's stuck. Come on, baby. I think the new points need some cleaning. Yeah, baby. muffler glue. What a new set of points will do. The thing used to sound like it knocked and everything. Must have just been having bad ignition or the timing was off of here. Because it sounds really good now. Let's rev it up again. Now we got to get that 34-inch blower going. Drive this deck to the back and drop it off where I store it, and then we'll see if we can get the blower out here. Pin out of the quick hitch to see if I can get the deck to come off. Yep. A little sketchy one-handed, but it worked. I'm not touching that drive shaft until the engine's turned off. Let's leave it right on the quick hitch. Always like the sound of a Kohler when you turn it off. Alright, so that was a success fixing that thing. So now we gotta work on the blower and try to figure out what the knocking noise is when you lift the blower off the ground. So I'm actually gonna grab the blower and bring that up here with the bucket loader, and we're gonna take it apart and investigate the bearings, I think.